here comes the, y'all don't really want it like, yeah, here comes the, no, here comes the, oh, here comes the.
And now,
what's up?
Around the globe, Straight Up TV with your host, that dude All-Star.
What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Straight Up TV. Today is January 21st, and we have another episode for you guys. All right. Now, if this is your first time tuning in, make sure you go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, and comment, and do me a favor. Text somebody right now and say, you know what? Straight Up TV is live right now. All right, so today's topic is going to be pour into others who pour back into you. All right, so and this is something that happens every day. Something that happens every day, every week, every month, every year. Everybody goes through this. All right, and this is my opinion on how I feel about it. All right, and the sooner you master this, or the sooner you come up with a concept that works best for you, then the sooner in the long run, you'll be better. All right. Like I said, everybody goes through this. It's just something that happens to everybody. All right. So, and this is just my opinion on how it goes. All right. So, but like I said, the title is Pour into Others Who Pour Back into You. All right. Pour into others who pour back into you. All right. So my first demonstration, I want to talk about how I think, in my opinion, how it goes wrong, right? How it's done wrong. All right. And then I want to show you my demonstration of how I think it should be. All right. So let me change some cameras around and I'm going to show you what I got. All right. So if you look at what I have here, this big bottle right here represents you. This is you. Now you're full of talent, support, money, and love and energy. These are all the things that you pour out of yourself. All right. On a daily base, week base, monthly, yearly, you always pour into others. All right. All right. So what you're pouring into your children, family, your career, your hobbies, and your friends, and you love to volunteer. So you also volunteer. So these are all the things that you actually pour into. All right. So, and for this first demonstration, I want to give you my take on how I feel it's being done the wrong way. All right. So this is just how I feel it's been done the wrong way. All right. So let me see, what screen do I want to leave on? We're going to leave on this screen. All right. So let me show you how I think it's done wrong. All right. This is how I think it's done wrong. All right. So here is you, right? Remember, this is you. Talent, support, money, love, energy. This is you. You're full. This is everything that you pour out. All right. So you start pouring. Now, remember, this is the version of how it's done wrong. You're pouring yourself. All right. You're pouring yourself. All right. So you just poured yourself. And a week goes by, let's say 2 weeks goes by. All right. And then you find yourself pouring again. You're pouring out of yourself into others. All right. And I'm giving you the example of how I think it's done wrong. You're still pouring yourself. All right. And you're getting empty. You're getting empty. Right. But you're still, you have more people pulling from you. Right. You got your children, you got your family, you got your career, you got your hobbies and friends, and you love to volunteer. You got all these things that you're pouring out of yourself into, right? And guess what? You keep pouring, right? And I'm giving you the example of how I think it's done wrong. You're still pouring. All right, you're still pouring yourself out. And guess what? Now you're empty. Now you're empty. So you get to this stage, right? And we're talking about how it's done wrong. You get to the stage, you don't pour everything that you have. You don't pour everything that you have into everybody else, right? And now you're going to try to figure out, I'm empty, right? So my rule is that you should never be empty. You should never deplete yourself. You should never do that. All right. Because starting from the bottom is always hard. All right, so you should never start from the bottom. Once you get off and running, and you're holding your own and you're maintaining, you should never want to go all the way to the bottom. All right, there's a favorite. Drake has a song says "Started from the bottom and now we're here." All right, once you get here, meaning that you have something that you're holding, you never want to go all the way bottom. So never get depleted. All right, so that's my example of how it's done wrong. All right, and it's just my opinion, and I think people just pour out of themselves, and they give and they give and they give and they give, and they never get nothing back, right? And that's the wrong way, all right? But think about it. It has to be another system to where you're giving, but somehow you're maintaining what you need, because there's a certain level that you need to maintain for yourself, all right? There's a certain level that you need to maintain for yourself. You just can't give and give and give. That plan is not going to work. All right. So let me tell you how I think it should go. Okay. I'm going to pour these back in real fast. Just bear with me. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button while I'm pouring these back in. All right. All right. So I'm pouring these back in, and I'm going to give you my example of pouring into others who pour into you. All right, I think I got it. I think I got them all back. Can you guys read that? Okay. All right. So let me change the screen again. All right, so now I just gave you my example of how I think it's being done wrong, right? And how it's being done wrong is that you find yourself depleted. You poured everything that you have into everything else, and you're depleted. And now you're trying to figure out, how do I refill myself? But it's hard to refill yourself when you're starting from the bottom. Of course, I'm not saying that you cannot, once you deplete yourself, that it's over for you. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is it's harder to start from the bottom. So you should never pour everything that you have out into others. All right, you stay with me. All right. So now I'm going to show you how I think it should go. All right. And this is how I think it should go. And this is just my opinion. All right. How I think when you pour yourself into others who pour back into you. All right. This is my example. So this is not no textbook. You're not going to find this on Google. This is just my all-star, my version, my opinion, how when you pour into others, people pour back into you. All right. So let's get started. All right, let me see what screen I want to use. Let's go with this screen. All right, so you guys can see better. All right, so once again, this is you. You're full. You got talent, support, money, love, and energy, right? This is you. You're full. And these are the items that you pour into. We got children, family, your career, hobbies, and friends, and we got you love to volunteer. All right, so these are all the things that take from you, right? All right, so let's figure out a plan that will, at the end of the day, you're always going to be good. All right, so you're never going to get depleted. All right, so let's start off with, all right, so you're full and you start pouring, right? Pour a little here, a little there to your family. Put a little to your career, to your hobbies and your friends. And you go and volunteer this weekend. All right. And here is the crucial part. Right? This is the part where people mess up. Now that you poured yourself out into others, you still have enough for yourself. Right? You still have enough for yourself. This is where people mess up. In my opinion, people mess up. You still have enough for yourself. Before you start pouring more of yourself out, you need to sit back and see who's going to pour back into you. All right. So you just can't keep pouring. You've already gave. Now you're going to see who's going to give back to me. Right. And then you go forward. So now we're waiting. We're trying to see who's gonna give back. okay, family starts to give back, right? Your family's giving back. So what do you do with the family now? You put the family in the front runner. You move the family up because they giving back now. You get it? They giving back now. So now you keep watching. And guess what? Your children, they start giving back. Children start giving back. Now you put them up in the front too, right? So now you got your children up in the front because they're giving back, right? So, okay, now it's time to give out some more. I'm not saying you don't give out the volunteer, the friends and hobbies. You just don't cut them off, but you have to know who's giving back. So you start giving out again. Give a little here, a little there. And you come back here and you give them a little bit. You give them a little bit. You give them a little bit. And then you watch. And you're watching, right? You're watching. You're going to see who is going to give back. Right off the bat, your family is giving back. And your children giving back. Well, all of a sudden, your hobbies and your friends are giving back. All right, so they move up. Now you have 3 people up front because they're giving back. All right, so here you go. It's time for you to give out again. You're giving out again. All right. You definitely start with the top row because the top row is the people giving back to you. All right. And at this point, in my opinion, the ones that are still in the back that are not given, in my opinion, you don't give back to them after the second go around. You don't give back to them. All right. So then you start giving back. Now you up top. You're up top. And guess what? As soon as you give out, the family gives back. Children give back. Your friends and your hobbies give back. And guess what? You're always going to have something in your tank. Right? You're always going to have something in your tank. So the system works. So the only thing you need to learn from this, in my opinion, is that after a while you have to sit back and see who's going to give back. And whoever gives back to you, that's the people you keep giving to, because you guys have a system, right? You already put them in the front row. Let's call these guys the front runners or whatever. So you put those guys in the front runners, call them front runners, and because they're giving back. So you can keep giving to them because they're going to keep giving back. It's a system that works. You give a little bit, I take a little bit, you give a little bit, I take a little, I give a little bit, you give a little bit. It works. But these people in the back that are always just taking, you somewhere down the line, you have to draw the line. You have to draw the line for these people in the back because they just taking. And that could be that your career ain't going nowhere. Maybe that's what the problem is. Your career is just not taking off, and all it's doing is taking from you, taking your time or whatever, right? And then you're volunteering, and maybe the volunteering, you're not volunteering, or maybe it's not giving back, or whatever it is. You have to figure out a reason to keep these into the system. If they're not giving back, they don't belong in your system. All right. So that's it today. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think. And that's just, like I said, it's not textbook. It's not on Google. It's just how I feel about when you pour into others who pour back into you. All right. And just remember, the first example I gave you was my opinion on how it's done wrong. And how it's done wrong is that you just keep pouring. You keep pouring. And then you're done. You're depleted. You're empty. And there's nobody there to refill you. Right. So somehow you got to magically refill yourself. And like I said, when you get to that point, I'm not saying it's done and you're over. All I'm saying is it's hard to refill yourself from the bottom. All right. And then the correct way, or my opinion, not textbook, not Google, just my opinion, is that you give out to all the people who you give out to. All right. The first go around. And then you sit and wait. And you wait. And then when you see people start giving back to you, you be like, okay, let me move you guys up. Okay, now you guys are front runners because you guys are giving back. We can do this. It's a system that works. And until they start giving back, they don't move up to the front runners. And if they never give back, they never move up. All right, it's Straight Up TV. Leave me a message, comment, like, and I appreciate it. I'm out.